What if America's most terrifying serial killer wasn't caught because he was simply smarter than everyone chasing him? For more than 50 years, the Zodiac Killer has remained one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. He murdered innocent people, taunted police with cryptic letters, and claimed there were even more victims no one knew about. Despite thousands of investigators, millions of dollars, and decades of forensic advances, the case remains unsolved. The killer didn't just disappear. He left behind clues, secret codes, fingerprints, letters, and a trail of fear that still haunts America today. Some believe the FBI knows more than it has revealed. Others believe the Zodiac died without ever being identified. And a few investigators think the real killer has been hiding in plain sight all along. But what if the biggest secret isn't who the Zodiac Killer was? What if the biggest secret is why no one could ever prove it? Tonight, we're uncovering the real story behind the Zodiac Killer, the evidence, the suspects, the coded messages, and the mistakes that may have allowed one of history's most notorious killers to escape justice forever. This is the true story of the Zodiac Killer. To understand why the Zodiac Killer was never caught, we have to go back to Northern California in the late 1960s. At the time, the region seemed peaceful. Families filled the suburbs, teenagers spent weekends at lovers' lanes, and most people believed violent crime happened somewhere else. But that illusion was about to be shattered. On the night of December 20, 1968, two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, parked their car on a quiet road near Vallejo, California. It was supposed to be an ordinary first date. Instead, it became the beginning of one of America's darkest mysteries. Sometime after 11 p.m., an unknown man approached their vehicle. Without warning, gunshots rang out through the night. David was killed almost instantly. Betty Lou tried desperately to run. She never made it. The killer fired multiple shots into her back before disappearing into the darkness without leaving behind enough evidence to identify him. Police believed it was a tragic but isolated crime. They had no idea they were hunting a killer who would soon become infamous around the world. Just over 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, another young couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, parked in a secluded area known as Blue Rock Springs Park. Late that night, a car quietly pulled in behind them. At first, they assumed it was a police officer. The vehicle drove away. A few minutes later, it returned. A man stepped out carrying a flashlight. As the bright light shone into the car, he suddenly opened fire. Darlene Ferrin died from her injuries. Michael Mageau survived despite being shot multiple times. His testimony would become one of the first real descriptions investigators ever received of the mysterious gunman. But the killer wasn't finished. Less than an hour after the attack, someone calmly called the Vallejo Police Department from a public payphone. His voice was steady, cold, emotionless. He confessed to both murders.